all of me? Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my arms, I'll never use them. Take my lips, I wanna lose them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
All right, everybody, thank you for joining me this beautiful, perfect Southern California evening, March 3rd, 2024. All right, that was nice. Anyways, it's perfect out here on your outpost in the West Coast in sunny Southern California. This video shot here and the intro to this video may be deceiving, but we are not working on trains this evening or any type of models. We are going to be working on our little crumb catcher from our toaster oven. We already got a nice piece of aluminum. I've already done some measuring. So we're going to be using, this is going to be as boring as heck, so I might as well have locomotives spread out all around the workbench and the view on the camera, so it'll keep it entertaining, at least for the eye. But that's not the purpose of this video, to be exciting. It's this is the seed. If you want to do something like this or work, not the models, but starting your own metal shop, your wood shop, your repair shop, stereo for automobile tech, that type thing, whatever you want to be, there's always going to be a beginning where you got to start. So this is where we're at right now. These videos are, I'm going to show you the nexus, the actual seed or seeds of how I started in the 5th grade many years ago, back in 1977, 78. And as I got older and experienced and learned more and my skills got better, then you're able to expand and do all sorts of stuff and do them very, very well, and maybe do them for earn a living, or but this is how it started many years ago. I was in the 5th grade class. Mr. Jones, wherever you are, thank you, sir. Look what I'm doing now. I'm sure you'd get a kick out of it. But Mr. Jones, let me get back to my video here. Let me thank a subscriber that signed on yesterday. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pronounce his name correctly, but Pyong Wing, thank you for subscribing to my channel yesterday. Welcome aboard and ask any questions or participate as much or as little as you would like. Thank you for signing on board, Pyong Nguyen. We're basically going to be working with sheet metal at very, very basic measuring, very, very basic bending, very, very basic soldering, very, very basic tools. We're going to have to use a little bit of shop equipment here. We'll do those cuts with the shop equipment. I'll leave a little piece where I don't, and we can do that with basic, more hand tools that we have lying around the house, kind of like scissors and you know, this was my rivet maker. For those of you who did not know, so the complaint with the AMT Freightliners is to make the roof correct, you got to shave off all those rivets, fill in that seam, and then how do I replace my rivets? So it can be something as simple as a textile cutting or tile wheel, pattern wheel. And I got this cheaply at Hobby Lobby. And you run this over a piece, hell, I'll do it right through that piece of aluminum. Let's do that right now. We're getting slightly distracted here, guys. Bear with me. All right, let's see if this will work on this piece of aluminum. This is a little segment of my videos where I like to call crash and burn. And let's see if it's true what they say. Let's put a line of rivets right there. We kind of want to make it straight so it looks good, so we'll use that. This is aluminum, so it's real soft. These have points on there, so we press down firmly, not crazy nuclear strength, because then you'll poke holes through the metal, and you actually will. Just do it, and if you do, that's no big deal. They're easy to fix. Just do it with a firm grip. All right. And it can be as simple as that's how you make your rivets right there. See that? On a piece of styrene, using that pattern wheel, glue it on top of your AMT cab, and now you have rivets on there. It didn't cost you anything. You didn't have to buy decals or anything like that. And your Freightliner, here's one where I did do it. Those rivets you see right there were all made with this pattern wheel. And the cab looks great. Just you can do anything you can fix. You could come up with solutions when you run into obstacles or a problem or a roadblock, whether you're working on the electrical of your house, you're putting up drywall, you're painting. It's all part of life, you know. In the military or Marine Corps, you hear where they tell you improvise Marine. You know, at work they'll have they'll come up with gimmicks like teamwork or synergy and this and that, or cross training was a big one back in the 2000s. But there is something to that. Nothing here is rocket science. And if you run into a problem, if you can't come up with a solution, get on YouTube, ask away, ask a lot of questions for a lot of guys that do kind of what you're doing or want to do, and they'll help you out because they've always been good to me also. So we're not going to do any model working today, but I have been busy like crazy since the last time I shot these videos. Work has been coming, outside work, not related to models, like crazy. My older brother, he's got a rental, a house. He was going to have me put in a big hot water heater for the tenants. And then I took advantage of that time. I flushed my brand new water heater. It's been up about 2-3 years. I flushed it out and needed a flushing. I had replaced some dimmer switches in the house. I had to replace a whole bunch of spigots out around the yard for the water hoses and stuff. And one over here behind my shoulder in the wall, actually, right in here, right over there, anyways, right in there somewhere. There's a copper line that comes down and it feeds to a faucet outside, and this is where the faucet threads in. So it was so stuck when I tried to undo it, the solder joint gave way and it popped out. Now I gotta carve out a hole in the drywall, put a new setup in there. If you're gonna do copper and soldering, I'm gonna highly recommend, and you'll never hear me say what I'm going to say afterwards, but I'm always going to highly recommend, definitely want to silver solder. Anytime you're going to work on industrial type or around the house or the automobile type repairs with your soldering gun, do not use the 60-40 tin soldering that they use for electronics or light metal work. You can do stuff like that. You got to use silver solder each and every time. And that's what happened when the original plumber did not do that. The solder joint gave way. So we'll fix that. It's just going to mean I got to dig a hole in the wall. I asked my brother, hey, how come you didn't install I know there's an extra faucet there you left me, but why did you never install it, was my question. And he said, well, I can't get them to match. The hole's too big, or this one's too... So we was talking about where this plugs in. This is the old one I took out. It plugged into a bigger opening. So we were missing a step, and I went down to Lowe's or Home Depot. Lowe's is my favorite. And I found this beauty. Look at that thing, man. Look at that thing. That's just... As soon as I saw it, and then I picked it up in my hands, just... The craftsmanship that went into making this, I'm sure it was some big CNC setup. Just... Ay, cabrón. I just thought that big hunk of brass was just freaking beautiful. Look at that. Just, in other words, you buy this to do the install you're going to do for your part. You're not buying a flimsy, thin, tiny Mickey Mouse piece of shit little thing that's going to bend after you try to tighten it, or it's going to strip itself as you're tightening it. This thing's heavy duty. This thing will last a lifetime of this home and many, many lifetimes of myself. So you guys know what I'm talking about. I had one of these spare ones in my pocket to take measurements as I was at the store looking for the different dimensions. And I whipped it out. I grabbed this guy right here. And you guys know the feeling. Here it goes. As soon as she grips, it feels fantastic in your hand. It feels quality, or the weight of it. There is no doubt about it. This part is meant for what you got to do. And this part is not going to fail on you. And it's going to be tougher than nails. And this part here, because it is quality, going on another quality piece, even though this is ancient. When you put those two parts together, right, guys? This is, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. You get two parts. It's like they're magnetized. They click or clamp together, and they fit freaking perfect. You go up to the register, you pay for that sucker, you put it in your pocket. As a matter of fact, you don't take the spigot out. You tell the cashier, hey man, I'm so proud of that, this and that, you know, man, that is quality, blah, blah, blah. And she smiles at you and she thinks you're cute old guy. So, hey, that's cool, I'll take it. but you're so proud of that little mother son of a gun there, you take it home. And I did find the old one. It was still on the opening, so we went ahead and put on a different setup for that. But I got this one as a spare. But leads me to what I'm going to say next. So when I started this metal working type stuff back in 1977, 78, and my teacher, Mr. Jones, took me under his wing, and every day I'm in here and I work on something. If it's not every day, every few days, there'll be an occasion where I'm like, oh, wow, I fixed it. And I usually say, thanks, Mr. Jones. It just, for a 5th grade boy, it was huge. And he taught me, or he gave me lessons or the lectures, if I remember correctly, how to make your own basic tools for yourself. These were going to be tools that we're going to be using in the shop. So instead of going borrowing the tools from the tool crib and something like that, you had your own tools, but you made them by hand. The only one I still have remaining is this hammer right here. I made this hammer back in 1978. Mr. Jones taught me how to make it. Pretty basic stuff. The end is threaded, so he taught me how to use the tap and die. It threads into the head here. We bent the metal, we cut it, we cut this here. We didn't. I was too young to use milling machines. I think I started using milling machines in the 9th grade, but in 7th grade I had to use. I don't remember how I cut this. He may have cut it for me. He taught me how to harden the face on these things. So we did that to this guy here, and very basic. This is the first time I ever grabbed a, acetylene torch to do my brazing job there. And as you can see, it looks like a 5th grade brazing job there and in here. But this hammer has been with me since 1978. When I was a member of the O-Scale Museum down in San Diego in Balboa Park, I was the only one that could climb on top of the workbench, so I became the guy in charge of track. So I'd go up there and I'd spike down track or drop new frogs into switches or turnouts and stuff. I'd always take my little hammer up there with other tools to pound those little spikes back in, holding down a switch frog or points or something like that. When I became a member of the Pomona O-Scale Club up in Pomona, California at the fairgrounds underneath the grandstands, that was a huge club with a huge O-Scale membership, vibrant, alive, and everyone was old, and so I got picked to be part of the track gang again, except I was the only track gang guy again. And same thing all over again, but it was something I just absolutely loved. I won over a lot of hearts. A lot of these old, grumpy, old veteran white guys from the South that were there and didn't want no Mexicans joining the club, messing up the whole thing. Well, after a while, they saw my hard work. They found out I would paint locomotives. They'd bring me stuff to paint. I'd give them a beautiful paint job. I wouldn't charge them anything for the first one. And I won them all over, and I never experienced any of, personality clashes at those, at my hobby, at either one of those museums. Kind of like we do in the workplace where it's hostile, or in the bad neighbor, or living with a horrible roommate type thing, or horrible club member. So I lucked out. I didn't have to do that, but I also worked my butt off for those guys, and I won them over. So remember what I always say: don't burn your clients, your customers, whatever you do. Win them over with hard work, and you will have work forever. They'll bring you work, word of mouth. So I already went ahead. I'm going to do this. So you can put your piece, your original piece. Let's do it like this. You can put your original piece as a pattern over the material that you're going to cut to make the replacement out of. And then you can either you want to use a metal scriber to trace your outlines and your measurements. Keep in mind, and I did it right here, we're going to have flaps that go up all around the perimeter of this tray. So we're going to do our basic measurements there. I already measured the distance or the height of those flaps. It's 2/8 of an inch or 4/32. So I measured, not from the end there, but rather in here. I took the 2/8 of an inch or 4/32. I made my lines. I did the same to this end here and this end here. So we're going to cut this guy, and then using our lines for our flaps, this is going to be a little flap or tab that folds up. This is going to be your base of the little tray. You can see the lines. So what we're going to do, we're also going to bend these tabs upwards, and we'll use those lines. In that case, we're going to use the inside lines as a reference for where we're going to place the brake in order to bend that up. That'll be in the next video, because I also want to show you how you can bend this without using a brake. And I'll show you how to do that live on TV. It's got round ends. Those round ends are exactly like the diameter of my X-Acto knife. So we just, on the corners, put it there and traced around it. You can also paint Or use there's this dye you put on metal. It's either purple or blue. It dries real fast, cleans off real easy. But when you trace your lines, because of the colored background, they stand out more. I already did some on this side, but we're going to do it on this side here. Even though it's harder to see if there's a lot of glare, but actually it's a piece of cake. And there's the rivets we just did right now for the AMT Freightliner kit. If you guys ever want to look into that, I did a 5-part video series here about a year ago in December, specifically uncovering. We did 5 cabs, 5 AMT cab overs, and we put rivets or just a rivet and the seam issue on each and every one right here on TV for you guys. So, okay, we're not going to keep this video too long. I didn't plan this right. You know what? I'm going to go cut this right now. There's no room over there. I got to turn on lights so we get to the break. If I want to film on camera, shit, let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on. Let's do it. All right, let me get the lights. So we'll make our basic cuts right now just to start the form, and then we'll call this video a day. Right about there. Let's raise this up. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we already measured the length of our project. We'll cut along that line there. That way we don't have to worry about using this excess material. We'll use this for another job on another day. See that? Okay, so the only other cut we're going to have to make is this one down here. That way we don't use this material down here, and this will be our basic shape for our tray. Let's go ahead and do that also. So there is our basic tray. Let's get you back. Oh, hold on a second. Let's do this. Okay. All righty. Well, that was fun. All right. So here we go. So our tray. And you can see the ends where we're going to have the leftover material. That way we can go ahead and fold those tabs up. I have the correct ABS plastic, even the same color, so we can make this fancy handle on the end. We're not going to include the lettering, obviously, but we're going to try and include these 4 dimples or divots, whatever you want to call them. Let me lower the camera. There we go. We're going to try and include those just so they can match. But we'll do that on the following video, which will be aired here in maybe this weekend. Just real quick, what you're going to do right here is you're going to cut out some material here so you can file or curve your thing there with some either scissors, tin cutters, the Dremel tool, grinding wheel, different things, but we'll do that on TV. We have to cut notch. So these tabs will fold up and then they'll be rounded on the end. We'll round one of those over. We'll solder it in place so there's no leaks or holes. Well, actually, you can't solder this, so we'll do it as tight as possible so there won't be any gaps. And then pretty much we're on the way. It's not that hard, but they are honeydews that that believe it or not, I gotta do. Let's see. Get some good music going here. All right, guys. So, you guys take care. Have an awesome weekend. I still got to shoot the finale for the Lino train. I'm going to have to shoot that indoors because it's still too wet outside to set up all the Lino track. I got to work on Roberto's Lino train. We're going to finish this project up here. We're going to finish up Bill Balker's locomotive. And then we'll see what other type of work comes in. Let me see here. Okay, thanks for joining me. You guys have an awesome rest of your week. I'll probably post some sort of another open box video before this week is up. You guys take care. You new subscribers, thank you for signing on board. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. And you all take care.